It is a very specific ritual which is carried out. It is the attempt to establish a connection with the earth in a fully conscious way. We wish to open all the body chakras, all the energy centers, and to let the energy from the earth flow through the body into the cosmos, and at the same time from the cosmos through the body, indeed to transform the energy and to send it back through the heart center. Thanks to this strong heart energy, which is sent out, a spiral appears in the circles. This spiral becomes stronger and stronger and turns ever faster, finally moving upwards like a light post or as a light ball. It is like a signal for the vibrational change. Could we say that the earth is being acupunctured? Yes, we could compare it to acupuncture. It is a good image.
During the 1980s, the Galactic Confederation, the Keepers, slowly began to visit the acupuncture points of the Earth. They sent, or rather beamed, the information of the ascension and the resurrection via pictograms of alpha rays from spaceships. The Keepers send holistic codes into the human subconscious to activate the frequency of the light bodies. The cells of this organism have to adapt to the quickly increasing vibrations or look for another playground in the universe where they can still play with the concept of separation. Therefore, not only will East and West unite within the living planet Earth as two halves of the brain, but also the two parts of the human brain will join. At last, all opposites will combine their efforts, and light and darkness will complement each other on a higher level.
In welchem Zusammenhang stehen die telepathischen Botschaften?
What is the relation between the telepathic messages that people should meditate and perform magical rituals in power locations and the telepathic messages of the return of the extraterrestrials or the gods of Eden? Well, to a certain extent, the extraterrestrials are sending these messages. The person who has the mediumistic faculties receives the message not only from masters and certain individual beings, but also from the Space Brotherhood. The Space Brotherhood is very committed to assist us all, as well as to help the Earth, to help us on Earth to make the transformation. Could one say that the extraterrestrials, or the Eden gods, as they are always described, bear a relation with our archetypal god figures? Yes, absolutely, because at times, when we did not know that they were travelling extraterrestrials, they were simply considered to be the entities coming from the sky, and thus they were gods to the inhabitants of the Earth. When do you think will the extraterrestrials officially make contact with this planet? It is already happening. It will not be long.
The ascent of ancient cultures. Long before our time, other cultures have experienced a collective ascension. During past golden ages of the cosmos, mostly only sun illuminations were possible because the physical immortality and transmutations were not yet possible. Therefore, in the old cosmologies, we can find only descriptions of the bodies of light of the enlightened. People can only be guided towards reaching greater devotion to their inner God through many reincarnations. That way, they increase the vibration of their chakras. The reincarnation is the path of slowly opening up to a new consciousness. Advanced souls, like the Masters, were so transparent that one could see a glow around their bodies. This was shown as a halo in old paintings. Opening up to the inner cosmos and increasing frequency was the first step on the way home. Matter increased its vibration frequency on the way home to the light.
The heart chakra is actually what I feel is the gateway between the lower and the higher bodies, but we actually have energies that connect us through all the dimensions back to source energies, and these can be experienced by simply aligning them. We have the physical manifestation which we see as our molecular structure of our body, which is quite dense, but we also exist on many higher, finer frequencies through to source energy. That energy exists within, and the chakras, those energy centers, connect us all the way through to that highest source energy and frequency of being. The heart center is the center through which that divine love flows from the higher dimensions through into the lower bodies.
All of our thoughts influence not only the outside world via the morphogenetic resonance field, otherwise described as our united, universal superbeing, but also our inner microcosmos. Our thoughts, depending on the origin of their level of consciousness, activate the chakras. These in turn determine our density or physical frequency, which in the end plays a vital role in the hormonal balance and metabolism, as well as in other bodily functions. The seven seals are the seven heavens of consciousness within us. The risen masters of earlier cultures were aware of the laws. Like man, the planetary structure has 7 bodies. These 7 bodies are also called the 7 zones of consciousness, or 7 dimensions. Within man, there are 7 physical chakras, or 7 doors of energy which attract spiritual energies from the inner cosmos. These doors of energy move together with the psyche and the entire human consciousness. Every opening within the human consciousness increases the speed of the chakras. This opening up of the cosmic flower grails permits the body to acquire a higher electromagnetic frequency and take up more etheric energy. Thus, the human body has 2 sources of energy supply: the combustion engine and the cosmic motor of resonance.
After December 31st, 2011, when the doorway of the 1111 closes, what happens is those 2 overlap spirals of evolution will now separate, and we will again wait eons for another opportunity like this beautiful one that we're given right now. For those of us who did choose to live in oneness, we will find that we are now aligned with a greater central sun system. Planet Earth will be making this journey with us, and the first stop along the way, on the other side of the door, so to speak, is what we call Octave 11. And Octave 11 is when they'll be very active, building on the new, great creativity, totally new forms of everything. There will be some beings, when they reach Octave 7, who will say, well, I'm not really so interested in this, I'd like to still yet go further. So a small group of beings will join together in the middle of Octave 7 and unify into an even deeper oneness and continue on the homeward journey to a level of consciousness which we call Octave 11. Over the years, as we've been awakening, there's been a great deal of discussion about our light bodies. And we finally realized that somewhere we have these elusive light bodies. And of course, we've been reading books how to find our light body and doing special practices and exercises and eating certain foods so we can find these elusive parts of our beings. And the big joke, of course, is that we've been wearing our light bodies all along. We have them here. For so long we thought we had this physical body with this little tiny flame of spirit here in our heart. And then as we awaken and remember and become vaster and vaster, you see that all along we've been wearing these vast bodies of light, and inside of them is this little tiny physical body. So we're going to be stepping more and more into what we call the invisible. The invisible, the unseen, is going to be seen by us, and that means living our lives more consciously in our bodies of light, bringing it all down all the way through the physical.
The masters of ascended cultures knew that the ascension was a gradual widening of consciousness. The higher self helps us with the process of completion. If man keeps on communicating with his cosmic monad and listening to his inner voice or intuition, the person will be reborn in the spirit. the higher understanding will open to him from the inner cosmos, and Buddhi, or Christ from within, also called the third eye. Then, man develops into a superhuman. Through having opened the third eye, which is also called God's eye, man is connected to the cosmos and is able to read from the universal Akashic records. The Akashic records are all the saved linear knowledge of the past, the future, as well as the development of the cosmos and its plans. Humans who have reached this state were called the enlightened ones. These people have dedicated their lives to the universal serving of mankind.